says, I have seen the photographs of humanoids that are based in Antarctica, and that what he has seen with his own eyes 2 miles down under ice are hieroglyphs that archaeologists that he was in, that was the mission, was scientists had been in there studying all this ancient archaeology 2 miles down under the ice. And the Navy SEAL gets to walk one of these huge rooms, 9-acre rooms, ceilings. One SEAL tells me he's been there in 2012. The SEAL that I have been able to videotape, voice altered in background, he was there in 2004. So I have 2 completely different SEALs. They're describing exactly the same kind of architecture.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to MFL, My Free Life. Thank you for being here, being part of this Free Life Squad. Today is Thanksgiving, so many blessings to all of you. Happy Thanksgiving. I figure since I am not in the mood to be driving no 1,000-mile round trip to go visit the fam, I'll go ahead and put y'all out a Thanksgiving video. Today we're going to cover some more of those crazy TikToks that should get you thinking, all right? Should get you thinking. So we're going to jump right on into this without any further ado. Love y'all. Hit that like, hit that subscribe if you haven't done that. Go on, share this video around. But let's get it. This man here is incredibly right. There needs to be all of our attention focused on what's going on with all these children, you know, because everybody knows what's going on. And it's crazy. You know what I mean? You know dang well our government can find these kids very easily. If it wasn't our government that was allegedly hiding these kids. And it's a very sad thing that needs to be addressed. So I'm with this dude's speech all day long right here.
Of all that, have we, as people, have not been trying to get answers for these missing children? Did you guys really think after Jeffrey Epstein got locked up, he got killed, that this all went away? It's not going on anymore? Come on, guys. They have multiple islands, multiple places underground where they do this. And they're still using his island to this day. I'm just asking you guys, why aren't you guys pissed off? You guys are aware it's going on. You know it's going on. But because it's not your kid, you turn a blind eye. Come on, man. Just bring more light to this. Protect the children.
Absolutely. So I'm going to try to read, because this stuff is just in text, most of it. So it's going to be the person that's walking up, asking them questions, just a citizen journalist. But a lot of the audio is blanked in and out on this. I don't know if that was to keep from getting hit with some kind of copyright or something. I don't know. But I'm going to read it. So there's going to be a lot of pausing throughout the rest of this clip. Not a lot happening action-wise, but I want to read it because the message is the important part that y'all need to catch. So when I first watched it, I was like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? And I got bad eyes, so I had to keep pausing it so I could read what it said. But just for the sake of any of y'all out there that's kind of like me, that small, fine print, kind of hard to read, I'm just going to go ahead and read it out to you, what the citizen journalist is asking them and what the responses are from these other people. So I hope I don't bother you with all the pausing on this, but I think it's important that the message that's being said is what's read. So let's get it going. All right. So the question is, it says, these kids are, all right, so this is just narration, I'm sure. But it says, these kids are going places. Then it says, all right, got to try to catch it when it happens. These kids are going places. They're never heard from again. No. And it says, are you, don't ask me that again. Okay, are you the kid's father? No. And he says, okay, why are you being so secretive? So this is the cameraman talking to the big dude right here beside this kid that's clearly not his kid. Don't worry about it. Can you stop bothering me? Don't take a picture of me. That's the dude with that government badge around his neck. That's why I said the allegedly people that's moving these kids around know where these kids are or where they went. He says, you're not authorized to be taking photos of me. And he says, or to take pictures of me. This is a public place, so that's going to be the cameraman saying that. Hey, what company are you guys with? So the cameraman talking to this lady and this man walking this young boy somewhere. Of course, they don't want to respond or answer nothing, right? Where are you guys taking this kid? Where is this your kid here? They're just ignoring him. Sir, is this your kid? Hey, how old are you? Talking to the little boy. And then this is a narration. It says, the child looks like he is afraid to talk. And he definitely does. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, I'm your friend. Talking to the little kid. How old are you? So the kid don't talk, doesn't say anything. What country are you from? Kid's still not talking. And then it puts captions up and it says, the child looking at the escort at the way the kid cowers, looking frightened. So showing an arrow of the kid's face, even though he's got that mask on, you can still see it in his eyes all day long. The kid looks scared. And then it'll show a clip next of the escort's face. And you can tell that the escort is trying to act like he's not looking at the kid, but he's definitely giving the kid the death stare, like you better not say nothing out the corner of his eye. So that'll be the next picture. So the kid cowers his head down. And then look, when they zoom in on that escort's face, you can tell all day long the man's acting like he's looking at his phone, but his eyeballs are looking straight at that child, intimidating. You know, it gives him that intimidating sideways look, like you better not say nothing, right? Hey, are these your kids? Back to the cameraman asking this man questions. Man don't respond. Oh. Hey, are these your kids, sir? Another guy outside, van full of kids. Everything okay, sir? Is the cameraman asking, but I think he's probably talking to the little kid on that one. Excuse me. Cameraman saying, excuse me, to the lady. I missed it. Are they? Let me go back just a little bit. Are they allowed to? And then just question mark. No. So, anyway, my bad on all those pauses trying to read that, but it was important that the message was heard, what they were asking the people, and the way that the adults were not giving any kind of responses, and the way they had those kids intimidated clearly, and how none of those kids would respond. You know, maybe one kid just being a shy kid or not wanting to talk is one thing, but when every single child won't respond, won't talk back, you know that is guided, that is bred into their heads not to speak. You better not speak. And those kids, where do they go? They gone. They end up disappeared. So I don't know why there ain't extreme focus on these children. We got to protect our children out here.
What's going on down at Area 51?
Some of the giants down there are coming out of stasis.
Giants.
You know, that kind of...
What I heard...
Go ahead.
Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
What I heard was that this is first-hand knowledge through an email that's encrypted. We use some code. I'm going to have to write it all down because I almost can't remember how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what they told me was that one that I told you about that's 18 foot tall,
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about it a few times that I've seen it look like it's glass or ice. Well, the top of the I guess the thing.
You see that big old monster in the glass? Big old giant. Let me back that up a little bit. I don't know if that's supposed to be a real photo or if that's just supposed to be an interpretation of it, but I think it's supposed to be a real photo. So let's back up just a little bit when he talks about the 18-foot giant in the glass. All right, it's such a short little clip. I'm going to have to just play it from right here. I'll see if I can pause it on time.
And they're coming out of stasis.
Right there. That's wicked. I don't even know if that's supposed to be a real photo. I don't think.
You know, that kind of.
What I heard.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
What I heard was that this is first-hand knowledge through an email that's encrypted. We use a code that I'm going to have to write it all down because I almost can't remember how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what they told me was that one that I told you about that's 18 foot tall,
Mm-hmm.
I talked about it sometimes that I've seen it look like it's glass or ice.
Oh, okay, this. Yeah. See, this does look like a real picture, actually. And you see where it's circled, the red circle, the circle. Look at that thing behind the glass. That is crazy looking. Look at that compared to the side of the man standing there. So if that is a real photo, that is, woo, yeah, that's a giant for sure.
Well, the top of the I guess the thing holding it back cracked
Yeah.
and fell off
Ooh.
and showed about half of his head.
So you're saying that this giant is running around Area 51 now? What are they doing to subdue the thing?
Well, they're shooting at it and stuff, but I told them, you know, when I left, they knew about the copper bullets, and I'm sure they're not using them because if they were, they would have done handled this situation.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been over. See, if it would have been me when I was security control over there, I would have busted them in the head with a copper bullet when that first piece cracked off.
Does anyone else find this weird? When they launch these rockets,
I don't like it so much when these clips, when people are putting these clips together and they're talking about whatever, like this particular clip we just watched, and then they have photos or some video in the background, because obviously the video going on in the background was not no Area 51 nothing. That had to be coming from a movie scene or something like that. They just wanted some motion going on in the background, which is all fine and dandy. But then they're trickling in actual photos of the man they're talking to, the military guy, and then they're trickling in photos. But when you get so much going on, it's like, I don't know what's supposed to be legit that you're showing, not what you're saying, but what you're showing. So clearly you got some movie film going in the background of sunspots. Clearly some of the photos you got up there, the articles, or of the gentleman you're actually talking to prove to us that it's the real military guy. But then you got the still photos in there. So are the still photos supposed to be real, or are those just supposed to be still photos from some other movie clip? See, I don't like that because it takes away from the authenticity. As far as I'm concerned, you know, it takes that away to make me. They just need to keep it consistent. Don't have anything fake in the background just to fill a void in your clip to make it look better. If you're talking about something that serious, only show real footage, or don't show any footage at all in the background. So I don't know what to think on that photo. If I think that the photo part of that was real or not, of the giant in the ice, I don't know. Too much going on in that little clip. I mean, all the conversation was all consistent and everything. The person he was talking to being interviewed was consistent, but too much going on in the background for the clip for me to try to put a handle on what I feel as far as the photos being real or not. So I don't know, just my interpretation of that, what was going on. All right, now of course more of this firmament stuff, which we already know the earth's flat. Quit playing. It says in the Bible, God put a firmament over the lands. So I'm just gonna go with the fact that God know what he's talking about.
trajectory on these rockets never goes straight up. They always curve every single launch. I think I know why.
One thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the earth. There's no place to go.
But what he is referring to is God's firmament, which is a closed system. But let's just see what the Bible has to say. We're in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 7. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. Book of Job even tells us what the firmament's like. Verse 18, Hast thou with them spread out the sky, which is strong and as molten looking glass. Now let's take a look at the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 6. It is he who builds his upper chambers in the heavens, and has established his vaulted dome over the earth. He who calls the waters to the sea, and pours them out on the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. Has established his vaulted dome over the earth. So God has founded a vaulted dome over the earth, which is referring to God's firmament. I'm here to tell you, God's word is true. He wants a relationship with you, not a religion. Sorry to break it to you, but the only thing that's been to space is your imagination. There's no such thing as space.
The police aren't who.
Sorry to break it to you. Only thing that's been to space is your imagination. That was funny. I don't care who you are. Let's keep pushing.
You think they are. The sheriff is not who you think he is. Banks do not do what you think they do. Governments don't operate anywhere near the way you think they do. And that's why today, when you look at what's going on in the world today, none of it makes any sense. It's all crazy. It makes no sense at all. Seems very destructive. But actually, in point of fact, you don't know how the system works. It's working perfectly fine. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and the people, the masses, are entertained with television and alcohol and drugs, and the wealthy continue to get wealthy, and so it's working perfectly fine. Once you understand how the world really works, and nothing works the way you think it does.
In a world full of lies, the truth sounds crazy. Kanye West, or Ye. You ever wonder why you get denied credit when you're supposed to have unlimited credit from birth? You ever wonder why there's so many petty laws, rules to get you in the system, fingerprinted, labeled felon? Do you know why that is? You can't go to certain countries if you have that. You know that, right? Why? Oh, they want to keep you in the working machine of the corporation. Slave. You ever go and get a car note? You ever wonder why it's called a car note? Like the dollar note. And then when you give them the note, they go and use your social security number and pay for the car outright through the money that's in your trust. But that's crazy. That's not true. What's a UCC1 form? What is that? What's the difference between privatized and public? What is an allodial title? What is that? Why does the media always show us fear tactic after fear tactic after fear tactic after conflict after conflict after conflict? And feel like it's all lies? Why do politicians smile in our face, give us a bunch of promises, and then when in office, nothing ever happens or changes, and no promises are ever given to us? Why did we get penalized for health insurance? You said the police ain't who you think you are, the sheriffs who they think you are, the CEOs aren't who you think they are. Yeah, it's because they're all part of the club. They all have certain rings on. They all know the plan that's coming. If you know, you know. Why is Jordan Maxwell no longer here? Why does no one really even know who the fuck he is? Or William Cooper, when they wrote prominent books, spoke about prominent things, and then died because of the things they spoke of. But no, it was heart attack or suicide from natural causes. Wait, didn't the CIA show they had a heart attack gun? Oops, they shouldn't have said that. And then why are people like me silenced on this app? It's just creative purposes.
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. There was a few things that he said that I think he probably needs to do a little bit more due diligence on, as far as how I interpret some of the wording and some of the laws on some of the stuff. But he's definitely on the right path, and he's not wrong with what he's saying, for sure. Which is why it's important to always do your own research so you can not get misled by unintentional misleadings any more than intentional misleadings, because some things, some people say they completely think that they are right, but they don't realize that they've overlooked a few things. So not saying that he's wrong about anything that he said. I'm saying he's mostly right, but some of the legalese he was talking about, I think he's got a little bit backwards, but that's for another time. Let's go. That was a trip. I know y'all seen that. That laser coming out the sky.
This matrix is dying, and they're trying to take everybody with them.
I want to watch that again. Check that out. That is so creepy. So creepy. Wow. Wow. What y'all think that was? Crazy stuff going on in our skies, y'all.
This matrix is dying, and they're trying to take everybody with them, but not this time. There's too many people waking up at a fast rate. Their system will not work on us no more. When this matrix fall, we're going to need someone to rebuild it, and that's when spiritual people come in. We are going to be the ones that lead this world once again. I've been on my spiritual path for 13 years, so I wrote Shadows of the Matrix to help people wake up much faster. One of the first things that happen when you wake up is people in your family start calling you crazy. They laugh at your stories because they don't understand what it means to really wake up. The reason they are laughing is because someone put a curse on your bloodline maybe thousands of years ago. Shit, maybe even longer than that. So every time you wake up, you are going to heal your bloodline. Once you heal your cursed bloodline, you reconnect to the roots of where you really come from. Once you connect to the roots, you heal all your chakras and all of your bloodline. Once you heal your bloodline, you will understand how important it is to start grounding once again. You will understand, understand, and understand why are these aliens on this planet right now. What if I told you some of our bloodlines come from these aliens, but they are trying to reset the system because they understand what's happening spiritually. The earth shifts so many times. The poles shift so many times. So we are about to really wake up, but they are trying to stop this process, but they can't. You can eat all the healthy foods in the world. You can read about spirituality, but it's not going to work if you are not doing your shadow work. You got to ground first, do your shadow work, then try to activate your chakras. It's an order. Please do your shadow work before you want to get into spirituality. If you want to know how to do this, check out Shadows of the Matrix. My link is in my bio.
So what he's talking about is a lot, so I have personal conflictions with some of the stuff because I'm religious, I'm a Christian, and I fell off of Christianity a long time ago, but I circled back in the last 10 years. But who's to say that a lot of some of the spirituality stuff that's not Christian based isn't still directly related with Christianity? And the way that I look at it is I believe it is. 'Cause a lot of the stuff they talk about, your energy and your chakras and all that stuff, I think that's perfectly aligned with my faith in God, my faith in Jesus, because we are all light beings, but what gets me and what tosses me for a loop a lot of times is when a lot of these spirituality people talk about you are God. That's where I draw the line, because I am not God, but I do think there's a lot of things that intertwine and commingle with the energies of your body and your faith, my faith being in Jesus Christ. But I still really like getting these sides and these viewpoints from these other people, because I don't think there's anything wrong at all with that deep spirituality like that. And I think it's very necessary in the whole grounding yourself out and stuff. That's absolutely 100. Absolutely 100. The only part where I get thrown left is when they start talking about, just realize that you are your own God, because that don't work for me. But I think that, just like it says in the Bible, your body is, your temple. You definitely have to bring out the light in it for sure. And in that aspect, the spirituality is highly, highly important. And the meditation and the grounding yourself out and all of that, I'm with that, and I'm with crystals, all of that stuff, but I just don't like the crossover between knowing that, Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and calling myself God. That's the part that's where the monkey wrench comes in it for me. But anyway, it doesn't matter what you believe, what your religion is. We all here just as a community to get together and talk about things. So I'm gonna respect you and yours, respect me and mine, and let's keep it moving. Let's talk about it. That's what we're here for.
Did you see what Henry Kissinger in his book, Kiss the Boys Goodbye? Get the book. It's out in the market. Go get the book. Henry Kissinger wrote a book called Kiss the Boys Goodbye. And what he said in there is that United States military people are just a bunch of dogs. That's all they are. That's why they wear a dog tag, because they're a bunch of dogs. So who the hell cares? Nobody cares if they get killed. They're just a bunch of animals anyway. And George Bush's mother, that incredibly ugly old lady, George Bush's mother, she's scary. She's so damn ugly. She said on national television, when they were talking about how many guys were being killed in the Middle East, Americans were dying, it's a very famous quote. She was on television one morning and said, "Why should I waste my mind, my beautiful mind, on people dying? What the hell do I care? Let them die." That's the president's mother who is saying to America, we don't care about you. You are just nothing more. That's why they call you a GI. A GI issue. When you go in the military, they issue your pants, your shoes, your car, your underwear, your food. They issue everything for you. So the government is issuing all this stuff for you. And so, therefore, it's called a government issue. Well, that's what you are. You are a GI, a government issue. Therefore, you're just like an oil can or a tire or a car or anything else the government issues. But when the war is over, the United States corporation does not go into South Vietnam or whatever after the war is over and pick up all the old cans of oil cans and the burned tires and all the Jeeps and all the trash and the junk after the war. Does the government go in and go collect all that stuff up and clean up the place after they get through the war? No. Why? Because all the trash and garbage and trucks and tanks that are blown up, that's all a government issue. It's all junk. So if the war is over, the war is over. It's a government issue. That's why when you are a military guy in the military, and after the war is over, they'll leave you over there. You're in a concentration camp in Cambodia? No, leave him. He's just a GI, a government issue. He's like an oil can. Who the hell cares? They got 25 oil cans over there. Who cares? Let them die. Wake up. This world is not what you think it is. I've been around for 71 years. In the last 53 years, I have spent my life in the world of the occult. The word occult is a Latin word meaning hidden. Everything that's of any importance has been hidden. The guys at the top know stuff you don't know. I made it my business to find out. And the one thing that has absolutely astounded me is how much we don't know about the world we live in. So I would say to young people watching, you better wake up and get a life and start figuring out who owns you. What is all this crap about people owning your body? Stock exchange.
Look. That's so deep, y'all. And it's very real. And there's a lot of truth in what he's talking about because of how dispendable the American life is for these corporations and our government, and how easy it is to just send our sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, over to die overseas in some foreign wars that don't mean a damn. completely disposable. You know what I mean? They do not care. They do not value our life. They just throw the nice little slogan up there, be all you can be, and will quickly sacrifice us for their agenda. They're never going to sacrifice their own. Their own sons and daughters ain't going over there dying. They're not. They're not. And they ain't getting hit with no draft dodging. Even if they get sent to the military, they're going to be in a plush spot where they ain't even worried about it. You know what I mean? That's just how it go. So, like he said, wake up. Wake up. And you know, it wasn't very long ago when people that talked about bunkers and, you know, preppers and stuff like that was all crazy people. You crazy, bunker and be underground. Whoop, whoop. Well, it's funny because now the bunkers is the big thing for all these elites living plush underground. Why would they do that if something ain't coming? Because something coming, for real. And they'll all have places to go. Folks like us, we got to figure it out, you know, and having a backup plan to demise is kind of a hard thing to come up with, especially if you ain't got no loot to get you something squared away.
Y'all, they're showing you their bunkers on TV, Fox 11.
But one startup company says avoiding threats from any potential natural disasters, viruses, and wars doesn't have to come at the expense of your comfort. This is an Opidum, a type of luxury doomsday bunker that could soon be underneath the mansions of some of the world's richest people. Opidum creates underground living spaces that are highly secure and completely discreet, yet beautifully appointed and entirely bespoke. Opidum is the Latin term for fortified settlement, and that's exactly what this is, and much more. Company officials say each bunker is air and gas tight, allowing those inside to be completely cut off from the atmosphere outside for up to a month. The shelters are also armed with the technology to make their own water, air, and energy, while coming with the chicest amenities. Whatever is happening in the world outside, you can rest easy and live fully in times of tranquility and in times of...
What do y'all think? So this lady, this...
Fortified to be able to make their own water, air, and energy. Well, why is that so easily accessible and available for your bunker underground, but we can't seem to do that up here? Because it's all shenanigans, y'all. You can get pulled water straight out of the air every day. It's called an atmospheric water generator. All right, not hard to create, not hard to make. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I already did a video on making those when I was doing more DIY stuff before I started doing these reactions. All right, look that up. Atmospheric water generator. Pull you some water straight out of the air. All right, gonna be the best water you ever had. And as far as making energy, well, I've already showed y'all. I've already built y'all a gasification machine, show you how to turn wood into gas, to wood gas, which you can convert into electricity. And then, you know, it's very easy to do hydrogen cells as well to create hydrogen gas from water. You know, a little bit of electricity, a little bit of water, you know what I mean? Some distilled water and some baking soda. You can even use some salt and pull you some hydrogen gas out of that on demand to create energy. There's free energy all around us all the time. And they still try to act like we got these energy crisis, energy problems. No, we don't. We do because it's man-made. It's on purpose. It's to keep us enslaved and keep us down, because you can create all of that stuff for yourself very easy. Very easy. And I tell you right now, once I own me some land again, I'm on it. I will be putting myself in a bunker, and it will be completely self-maintained and you know, isolated from everything else around it. So, just saying, don't be slipping. Don't be slipping.
Discovers that she is in the Matrix, and because of it, she is unalive. This is for entertainment purposes only.
This lady bumped off because she discovered the Matrix. In October of 2019, the CEO of Tinker Ventures, Erin Valenti, flew to California for a tech conference. She was scheduled to stay for only 3 days. However, on the last day of her trip, just as she was scheduled to get on a plane home, Erin's parents received a call from her with a frantic voice yelling over the phone, "It is all a game. It's a thought experiment. We're in the Matrix," before hanging up. Subsequently, she was not heard from again until a few days later, when police found a lady in an abandoned rental car on a residential street, dead. Her parents launched an investigation into this, claiming that Erin would have never done this to herself. And what was interesting was that the company that she owned was developing neural control and brain-machine interface technology, making people wonder if she accidentally discovered that we are all living in a simulation.
So what do you think happened to her? Leave your comments down below and share this video. Let's get this shit.
It's crazy how all the people that come across very important information like that become unalived. And you a fool to think it's all coincidence. It just happens. Now this stuff, this I don't care what you say. This is definitely an elephant. So this goes with all the giant stuff. You know, these mountains that have faces in them and stuff like that. They're essentially somewhat petrified giants. But this is, and all this stuff you can see through history and on cave paintings and stuff like that. This stuff is real. Like, you can't tell me this is not an elephant. I mean, this is it's a damn elephant. It's a giant elephant. But let's just watch this. But just think about all the other giant stuff that we've covered. You know, these islands and stuff that are clearly shaped like, you know, animals or people, or, you know, just giants, man. Giant hands, giant faces, giant stuff that's just crazy. It's crazy. The rocks that they was cutting out that literally look like the insides of flesh, you know, of ancient flesh. It's a trip. Top view clearly look like it.
Yo, it's like 3 a.m. right now, and my mind is racing. If you live in the United States, you're going to want to tap into this one. Alright, so today, or actually yesterday, less than 24 hours, the World Series kicked off. And guess who threw the first pitch? President Bush. Now, let me knock your socks off and raise your awareness and most likely raise your eyebrows, because what is going to happen next?
So for those of y'all who are a little older like myself, and we remember that, his first pitch and then what came right after that. So I already knew right where he was going with this story as soon as this started. And it is kind of a trip. You know, what he's saying will make you think. Now, whether it is or isn't is neither here nor there, you know, to be discovered, I suppose, to be determined. But it is a hell of a coincidence, especially where we are right now on this WW3 edge of things right now. We are on the cliff looking over. So this does get you thinking. All right.
Hope is not an attack on the United States, because the last time this man threw the first pitch in the World Series was back in 2001. So check this out. This was 2001. He threw the first pitch at the World Series. We also had the 9/11 World Trade attack. Just thought I'd show you, just so we can document it in this video. But more importantly, back in 2001, the Diamondbacks also won the World Series. And they're in this year's World Series. So there's a whole lot of signs that are pointing at United States potentially having a black swan event, maybe an attack on U.S. soil. I don't know. I hope that does not happen. All I'm doing is speculating. I'm raising.
So he keeps saying a black swan event. So essentially what he's saying is a false flag. So black swan event's not really a term that I'm real familiar with. I've always known it as false flag, but I'm pretty sure they're two of the same. You know, one of the same.
My eyebrows, because boy, does it look like history is repeating itself. Will we have a black swan event that's an attack on the United States? Let me know. Comment below. Let's talk about it.
Breaking news in the past 24 hours is yesterday, Iran warned the United States will not be spared if this war in Gaza continues. And this comes as I let you know that tensions have been escalating between the United States and Iran. There have been attacks taking place, all centered around the Israel-Hamas war. But what is very, very bold about this statement is, take a look. It actually took place at the UN in the United States. The foreign minister for Iran stood before all of the UN on American soil and told the United States, you will not be spared if this war continues. Take a look at the video footage so you can see it for yourself. I say frankly.
This is how you know we got a weak ass president right now that don't know country takes serious. For one, to be in your own country and talk about United States ain't going to be spared is ballsy in itself. But to be on U.S. soil and talk about basically we're being punked. We're being punked. That would never, ever, ever happen with a strong president, a.k.a. Donald Trump in office. Come on. Call me a liar. Prove me wrong. That never would have happened. They do not take us serious right now. And you can't take us serious with a potato like Biden in office. Who can take you serious? The man can't take himself serious. He don't even know what he doing. And all of our lives are hanging in limbo. We don't, and us basic civilians, we never even realize how close to demise we consistently are. You know how many fingers are on the edge of buttons that can just be launching bombs left and right, and we don't even know what's going on in the background to de-escalate those situations? We have no idea. We just going about our daily lives, running over to the grocery store. I'm gonna make me some sandwiches for lunch, not realizing that 5 minutes ago we was almost vaporized and have no idea about it. It's scary business out there, and you need a strong leader in office. But he ain't leading nothing anyway. Biden don't run the country. He's just a puppet.
To the American statesmen who are now managing the genocide in Palestine, that we do not welcome to expansion of the war in the region. But I warn, if the genocide in Gaza continues, they will not be spared from this fire.
So let me know your thoughts. A pretty bold threat. Now, President Joe Biden issued another warning in the past 48 hours. Biden warned there would be a response if Iran continued to attack U.S. troops. And what we heard is that overnight and throughout the day, more attacks took place, and that number of 14 has now gone up to 20. And let me know your thoughts. Do other foreign leaders think that President Joe Biden's threats are empty? Do they not respect him as a leader as they continue to attack our troops regardless of what he has threatened? Well, take a look at this. According to the Associated Press, now U.S. fighter jets are striking Iran-linked sites in Syria in retaliation for the attacks on U.S. troops. And things are escalating between the United States and Iran. And now just yesterday, on U.S. soil, a bold claim by Iran that the U.S. will not be spared. And I'm going to share with you the latest updates on this and what they're saying. Let me know your thoughts. Are we on the brink of World War III? Is Iran also planning attacks to take place on U.S. soil?
Y'all. Things are lingering in the mist, y'all. We got to be prepared as much as we can be. First and foremost, have yourself right with God. Be thankful for the little things that you got. Don't worry about the things that you don't got. And, spend as much time you can with the people that you love, and just continue going on, not living in fear, enjoying yourself, and walking in faith and enjoying life, but also, continue to be aware of what's going on around us and don't just be left in the dark. Wake up, help your family wake up. And like the clip earlier said, that's one of the hardest things to do, because as soon as you start waking up, you will start getting called crazy or conspiracy theorists or this or that by the people that you were the closest to. Those are the people that's going to start hitting the eject button first, and it's hard. You got to take that to heart. You're going to take it to heart, but you got to take it to heed and realize that you can't let that stop you on your journey, on your path of awakening. You know what I'm saying? So you're not so blinded by things that's going on around you, and help you mentally and physically and emotionally prepare yourself for possibilities of things that could be to come. But anyway, y'all, happy Thanksgiving. I love y'all. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video with some peeps, become part of this Free Life Squad. But ultimately, just thank you for being here. I love all of y'all. I'm Sax, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.